Hi, guys. Welcome to episode 245 of the Road to 30 podcast. Isaac here.
Dolly here.
Today, I have somebody that, let me just point at him. So I've not seen this brother in 13
This
years.
is his brother.
Yeah. No, we're actually like brothers in school then.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. It was actually nice. Used to
Hmm.
play ball, four posts.
This is your
You
long
were in
lost
Yellow
brother.
House, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was us.
Yeah, he was there, But yeah, I have Ade as he now goes.
Yep. That's my new name.
Yeah, that's his name. I'm not going to go to, where we were before. But yeah, I have Ade. So we finished from Trinity together. And I've not seen him since that fateful day that we graduated in our suits. Yeah, interesting stuff.
Yeah.
But
So,
yeah.
hello everyone. So my name is Adi. Depending on when you knew me from, forget my former name. My name is Adi. That's what
Forget the days of
We
old.
rebranded.
Look forward to what is new.
We rebranded.
You saw that thing that Will Smith did. That he said whenever you see his signature, you know where he met you. So that's the new
Exactly.
me.
So the ones that know you as Ade, the ones that will know you as the name before, don't worry. Is Ade we go by now. It's just like how I'm still Isaac. I was always
Yeah,
Isaac,
he was
so,
like, we used to go Kanye back then as well.
I still go with that now.
So
It's
I
true.
still go with that.
Some
that
people
works.
call me Dolakpo.
From
Still?
there.
When I was young, some people call
Yeah.
me Dolakpo. A lot of people call me Dolly now. But then some people that I've done work with of
Yeah.
recent, they will call me Dolakpo.
I
Because
think
that's what they were. That's
Fair.
what they were calling me.
when I have an issue, I call you Dolapo. Yeah,
No,
like
but
when-
you call me Dolakpo sometimes, even
Yeah,
when you
just
don't have an
exactly.
issue.
Just
to
to remind you that I
Wow.
was
my room.
there before the fame.
Before the fame.
I was there before the fame.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's good to have you, man. It's also
Thank
good to
you
see
so much. I mean, this has been like a year, like 2 years in the
Yeah,
making.
2 years in the
Because like
Oh.
making, so-
when you guys were still upcoming, like
Stop
yeah,
it.
no, I mean, like when you guys were upcoming, like I think actually messaged me like,
Are
okay,
we not?
come,
We're still
come.
upcoming.
Don't
No,
mind
if
you.
you are,
You're
you're
still
big.
there
Oh.
upcoming.
Don't
no?
mind, they were still upcoming.
That's the thing. When you are in it, you don't know you're in it.
Okay,
shit.
okay.
So
as in-
I remember
Words.
I remember clearly. I said I should come on. I'm like, fam, yeah, Lagos is far. And next
Facts.
thing, price of flights are going higher and higher. I said, no, hala. When I come to Lagos, I was in Lagos now. I'm even begging. I say, Isaac, I beg. Let me come. Let me come and show me.
I hear that. I
But
hear
yeah,
that,
it's nice to be
but
here.
we made it work.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank
I'm
you.
Very
actually
good.
happy to see you. Give me a down.
Uh-uh,
Good boy.
shoo.
Shit. That was
Nice
Fun
to
fact
meet
about
you,
Isaac:
Oh,
when we were
yeah.
in school,
This is what I did not want.
I want to
when we were
hear,
in school,
please.
they were babes.
Hmm.
Should I go?
Please go there. oh.
Who wished?
Please go there.
Okay, go on. No. Don't go on.
Let's go.
Don't go on.
Let's move on.
Don't go on.
Let's move on.
You tell me
Don't go on.
after.
I'll tell you
Adi.
personally, but
Don't go on.
you cannot go to the whole world. He knows what I want to say.
Don't go on. Leave this boy. Anyway, it's good to have you here. None of
Yeah,
that.
no,
We're
no,
not
like
going- whoever we were before
it's gone.
is gone. We're now focusing
All things
on
are
right
passed
now.
away.
All things are
Very
Okay.
good. No wahala.
This boy. Anyway, it's good to be back. How are you guys doing? How's your week? How's everybody?
Fine. Isn't it nice sometimes to just be reminded of like a certain time of your life? When you see
yeah.
old friends,
Yeah.
you are reminded of like a different time,
Who you were.
who you were,
Yeah,
who
like
you
what-
are now, even.
When life was good.
Well,
When life was better, it's still good, but
Yeah, it was better actually.
did
Yeah.
we think it was good then? That's always the funny
No,
thing.
we
Because
didn't.
sometimes you wouldn't even
fair
think it
point.
was
Fair
We didn't
point.
think it was good.
Yeah, you wouldn't think it was good.
Because I know we used to stress about some things that
Mhm.
now they seem irrelevant.
Yeah.
Very true.
But now we are still stressing about things that might not be relevant in the future. But yeah.
That's why you try not to look at the because one time you look back and think of this as
Yeah,
a
true.
good time.
A good time. True. But yeah, how you guys? How's your week? How's everybody's week? Who wants to go?
My week. Lagos.
Mm.
Okay, first point of call. I'm not a Lagosian.
Okay.
I don't know how you guys live this life.
Mm.
I have a theory in my head that if you live in Lagos, you're going to die 5 years before you're supposed to
Oh,
die.
no, facts.
Because the
Life
stress,
expectancy
the
is
traffic,
55.
everything just keeps taking from your life. And people keep laughing. So back Abuja, like I can't you wake up and move.
Okay, yeah, you came
Like,
from the bush.
It's not bujo.
I came from the bush.
We are hustling there, oh.
No, I'm not saying it's not hustling. I'm just saying.
So, you literally wake up.
bush.
Like if I'm going to work for 8, I can literally wake up by like, okay, have my bath by like 7:20.
Ha!
7:30, leave my house.
Can't relate.
Enter like 5-10 minutes traffic. And I get to the office at 8 to 5. From the airport already, I'm already in. I'm like, what's going on? How do people live here? Okay, I came in 2020. That was the first time I came to Lagos for a
Yeah.
while. Because normally I land in Lagos and leave Lagos. So I stayed in Lagos because that's when I employment hit me. So I came in and I was supposed to go for the first day in the office, and then I booked an Uber at 2 o'clock. And this Uber is 4 minutes away. It was 4 minutes away for 15 minutes. I just opened my window, and I was like, "Oh, like there's this traffic." That I started walking, and I bet you I go there for the Uber. I would never gotten to the same
That's
place.
crazy.
And then I come here this time, and on Tuesday we're going to the office. There's this mad traffic. On Wednesday, the traffic is not there. And like, it's like you can't even predict your traffic.
you
It
can't.
just
You
comes
can't.
like.
You
You
can't.
can't.
But whatever you guys are doing here in Lagos,
It's not it, Abi.
it's not me. It's not
I
it.
feel you.
But when I see people that comes to Abuja and say I miss Lagos, I'm like, are you mad? What? But,
I think-
It's Stockholm syndrome.
I don't even know if it's completely Stockholm. I think it's just like Lagos is just such a busy
Yeah, it's too.
place
it's
that
too
some people
much.
get used to the busyness of it. Some people cannot deal with too much quiet.
Yeah.
You know.
okay, fair enough. I've heard that from people that come to
Yeah,
Abuja. So
yeah.
if that's the life you guys live, well, it's been a
But
good
me,
week.
I can't. This Lagos, I don't like it.
Yeah, same. It's condition that is making.
And then I
us-
say,
just
okay, we'll
condition.
stay on the island. So we're on the island.
There's no water here. Water
And
is
then
not good.
it's time to
though.
have my bath.
Hmm.
And I'm feeling hard water. Some know the ladder. I'm like,
That's why we spend so much money on
I'm
soap.
like, what's going on? Like, how? So you're literally getting water from the dispenser to wash your face because I don't know what's going to do into my face. But your body is different. What I'm like, oh God, please let it be done. And I'm glad it's almost done.
Bele.
Let me go back to where I'm from.
Yeah. And then
Bele.
when you enter ABJ, to be like, you just breathe a sigh of relief.
There will be a new.
Ah.
There will be a bath to wash away Lagos.
It's not that bad.
I
It's not that
understand.
bad.
It's bad though.
Sorry. It is.
Let me
Anytime,
not lie.
anytime I
It's
go
bad.
to Oshogbo and come back, I
It's
feel the
actually
same.
bad.
Yeah,
Exactly, it's bad.
It's
No, it's
bad.
crazy.
It's very bad.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but
But
how's
yeah,
yours?
that's my week.
Week was fine. I don't. What happened?
Nothing.
Nothing really. I
Shy.
mean,
The days are blurring.
I've just been chilling. I've been chilling a lot ever since we finished sets.
Yeah.
I've pretty much been chilling. I mean, I had like 1 week where I did like or two, I should say, where I was doing some like last stuff to
Mhm.
round up. But after that, I've just been chilling. I feel like whenever I finish from like a set, there are people. This is like their life. Like they
Yeah,
do this. They go from set to set to set to set. I don't think that can ever be me. I need like some breathing room to breathe and appreciate what was done
Yeah.
before
you now
moving.
move.
Yeah, because some of the people I already worked with on that set are
They're
already
on
on
it.
another one.
Oh,
In fact, some
wow.
of them were already telling me from then that after here a couple of days after, maybe 2 days, 3 days,
Yeah, we're
they are back.
entering.
They are back on. I can't. That life it's a lot, and that's why I respect all the people that do it
Fair.
because it's long hours.
Mhm.
It's crazy, and you're not you're not in a comfortable. You're not always in a comfortable place because you never know where you're
Yeah.
going. You never know, which area. You're
This is
going
why
to
people
film.
have trailers, have you? And all those kind of things.
To be honest, like
Yeah.
walking on there, you understand why. Like you understand
Yeah.
why people just have like their own, because at least that can now kind of like be your space within a
Yeah.
space, But aside from that, yeah, like it's a lot of work. So I can't do set after set after set.
Fair enough.
I need to have like at least give me like 2 weeks. I can do like a 2 week
Yeah, and
break
then you
in
start
between.
another set. I
Yeah.
mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, how was my week? I had an interesting week. So let me start from the fact that yesterday I saw EFCC and Mopol
Mm-hmm.
jump out and stop a Maserati in front of me.
For real.
Oh wow.
It was the weirdest thing. You know when a car presses brake and you hear the "Krrr!"
Mhm.
So the guy was going, the police people were going. We were trying to turn into like this Jaconde place. The
Mhm.
police were going on the express. So
Mhm.
we just said "Krrr!" Next thing, somebody has come down from the car, jumped, they've stood in front of this guy's car and all that. Obviously, it's a plateless car.
Mm.
So let's not assume who is inside. But they come down, they start banging on the window. One stands in front with a gun. All this time I was on the phone as well. I panicked. I had to hang up. Because I'm like, I don't know if it's me they're
What's
coming
going
for.
right,
Yes,
right,
I left it.
right.
And then, they started like banging. The guy wound down, gave them his plate, which should have
Right.
been on the car, but was
Right,
in front.
right,
The
right.
people that do that.
Mm.
So that was the point where I just turned away and left. But when I left, they were yelling at each other. And then there was Mopol with a gun in front of the car. And I'm just there like, I don't know what's going on. I would have loved to stay. I wish the light was red, but the light was green. So I left. So that was sort of like the highlight of my week. It was interesting to see. But before that, like I was saying to you guys before, I saw a egussi cake.
Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry. I'm so because this egussi cake is something
Yes.
I want to go into. But
Yes.
this thing about your papers and all of that with police. I don't know the people that move without their documents.
Yeah.
You people
No, but you know
you
that's
people
the thing.
have a hard because I cannot today
Yeah.
when I was coming here, police, I already keep my eye for them anyway in certain locations.
Yeah.
In one location like this, they've not been there for a long time, but today
They were there.
They were there in
Hey.
full force. Everybody moved to the side. Everybody moves to the side. But you see me normally, even when I have everything complete,
Yeah.
sometimes it's just like anxiety. Like I'm not trying
Yeah,
to be
I get
difficult.
you.
I'm on now. As long as I have my everything, I say it's okay, Dolly, you're fine.
You
I
give
gave the
them.
woman, oh, your license, madam. Here's
It's
my
all
license.
it's all for
Your
500.
papers. Take my papers. In fact, I'll be bringing it small, so that because maybe you might feel like I'm about to then you will see. Oh, I feel comfortable.
It's all for
I
500.
feel confident. Please get your papers complete.
No, fact.
I can't move without my papers. Though.
No,
You cannot.
This
cannot
one,
catch
I
me.
don't know if it was a paper thing.
Okay.
Right, it was just
like I said,
thing.
the person also driving, you can understand why. And it felt like, I don't know if they were chasing him before or something, but the way they were going and all of a sudden stopped and jumped over, it felt like there was history there. So I don't know if there was history, but the way it happened was too deliberate. It wasn't random. You get, because I mean, so many people drive without plates, but this one they were going and they hit brake, jumped out the car, jumped over. So I was like, surely you get, surely
Yeah,
something
it's
there.
possible something happened.
Exactly.
Earlier.
So each to their own. But yeah, let's talk about egussi cake, because I saw this guy on TikTok. Shout out to him. Apparently, he's a food content creator. They have license to do these things, but he I don't know. He blended the egussi, added flour. He was a whole, these tutorials where they talk you through what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And he did everything. Then he baked it in the Nigerian way they bake cake, where they bake it on pots. You know, get that fluffy cake. You know what I'm talking about? That fluffy cake that looks like Nigerian
what do you mean
cake.
they bake it on pot?
So this guy baked it on his pot, by the way. So he put it inside a pan. I think put it inside water. Then turned on the pot. It was very. Let's put it. What's the right way to say this? It was very locally aesthetically pleasing, right? But my gripe with it was egussi inside cake.
Okay, to be fair, now that I'm when you first mentioned it, yeah.
Okay.
I think it's like where you going with
like where are you going with this? Because
when you first mentioned it, I was like a bit like, but then I now have to remember what I guess egussi is.
Okay.
Which is like, I guess it is a seed.
Okay.
And I mean, as long as
Seems like
it
seems like you're in this corner.
let me ask, have you tasted egussi like raw?
Why?
No reason.
Like, why?
No reason. But the reason why I say it is because, like, I wonder if like that taste of egussi we normally get is based off of everything else that is added to it. Like when you cook it, like the iru, the palm oil, the everything.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to say is that, like, if you are just blending it, like if you've tasted it, the taste might not be like an egussi taste. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So if you blend it, just the seed, you're not getting all the iru and all the whatever, and you're like a hen.
Yeah, luckily.
It can almost be like a kind of like a carrot kind of cake.
Okay, so you're saying it's like banana cake, carrot.
Yes, kind of.
So
that's why I'm saying that, like, if you taste it, because I haven't, but I'm just wondering, like,
maybe
is the taste of egussi just because of the addition of all the extras, all the crayfish and the everything? Yeah.
So basically, you're saying you're giving benefit of doubt.
Yeah. Okay, you know what?
Yes.
Okay, fair. Because again, it might be local cuisine, right? So you might have.
Sure, you're the one that's always saying
I'm not trying.
No. Okay, so I was getting there. When I finished, like when I watched the video, initially I was disgusted. I stepped back, but then I gave it a second thought, and I was like, I'm always the one advocating for experimenting with Nigerian dishes. And in fairness, I was like, okay, as a food content creator, give him the benefit of doubt because it's possible. And also, again, we won't get anywhere if we keep using the same local dishes. So try now new things like that.
So yeah, so as you just said, when you mentioned it that he blended it, I was not like, oh, okay, because I'm thinking that it's something like if someone is abroad, you can imagine them. People put all kinds of things inside cakes.
True.
Right, and if the melon seed,
Because what he did,
It's just a seed.
he blended the seed, then added flour, butter, and all that stuff. So
now, if you do a bono cake, now I might have a question.
Actually, no, I won't stand
You
for
cannot
it because
limit
you can
people.
exactly.
You cannot
If we are going to allow egussi,
You must allow the
we're going
range.
to do ogbano. We're going to what else? Is there anything you can blend? We're going
We're going
to
to do it.
because we're going to allow one.
So
We'll
you
allow all.
actually try it. Do it
What?
for your
No,
do
of
an
course
ogbono
not.
cake now.
No.
You don't wanna.
But
No.
do you try random
You don't
things?
wanna-
Because me, I'm very conservative with food. I don't.
No, I'm not conservative.
My stomach
with
reacts to things,
Ah.
so I don't
Me
just
too,
throw
I'm-
things
I-
into.
no, my stomach doesn't react.
I will
but,
not
like,
see an
I'm
egusi
very-
cake and say, "Let me try it."
I will.
especially if I'm outside.
I will. Though.
You-
But you know the thing is, I realized I had a problem because if I saw that in say like a fancy restaurant and they said egusi cake,
That's what
I'll
I'm
be like,
saying.
okay.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
maybe because of I don't know.
And maybe it's also the name egusi cake, because when you say egusi, the imagery that comes
Yeah,
to your head
exactly.
is
It's soup.
egusi.
You know, like
the
pounded
soup.
yam, like
If imagine if the guy said, "Oh, let's make melon cake."
fair
You will be
branding,
like,
branding,
right?
marketing.
But
Solid.
at the end of the day, like generally,
Mm.
there's this thing with egusi and people's stomachs. Is it the
Yeah,
melon?
is there a thing?
There's a lot of people that was eat egusi, they start having running stomach. I don't.
Eh,
There's a lot
I
of
didn't know
people.
that was
that,
a.
And especially people that when they preserve the egusi for a bit, like a day or two in the
Ah.
freezer. So, given that kind of thing, I will not
Yeah,
just say,
yeah.
"Let me go and try."
I mean, fair. I hear that.
But people that are eccentric and can try things,
Yeah, I hear that.
I
actually.
don't know if
Everyone is-
someone brings a cake. Cake, eat cake.
I'll ask you what's inside now. If the color is
Very
different,
true.
except if the color
No,
is
but the
giving
colour
chocolate
didn't look
cake.
different. It
Okay,
looked
look
like
okay.
It will look
okay.
like cake.
It looked like
All
It
normal
right,
will look
all
like
right.
cake,
It
because
looked like
I'm
normal
just imagining
vanilla.
that what it will happen is that it will be inside. It won't affect
Ah,
anything.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
It will just be
was-
the breading inside.
It was like normal
Yes.
vanilla cake. It looked like normal
Oh,
vanilla.
that's
cake,
fine then,
yes.
that's
If
fine.
you had told me
Exactly.
it was vanilla, I'd be like, okay, cool.
I know it's the egusi you're seeing.
That's
It's
the problem.
soup.
In my head, it's the soup I'm even seeing, not even the
Fact.
melon
It's the
seed.
soup,
So
exactly.
it's why I agree with you about the branding. If you had said melon cake, fine. Because I remember when my mom told me egusi was melon, I was like, okay.
Mhm.
But you know, still on still.
Mhm.
Just because
I
like you
understand.
said,
It's just that.
like
yeah, it's
egusi,
true.
Kudos to every man that's
I'm
trying
telling you,
things.
everybody that is trying it. Okay, what else I want to talk about? So people were telling me to give a breakdown of my Cotonou trip.
Oh. Okay.
At the time I went, 1,000 naira was 390 sefa. Very, very terrible currency.
Mm.
So the whole thing cost about 400,000 naira. So that's 156.
The whole trip?
Yeah, go come, and that's because
That's actually not bad.
it's not bad, but it's because of the way I did it, and I used bike in Cotonou.
I know once upon a time
Okay.
it didn't used to cost up to 100K to do this.
Oh
of
no,
going
of course.
back and
When
forth.
our currency was better, but I took a cab to Mao 2, cab to the border, cab from the border to Cotonou.
Okay.
So that reduced price. Stayed in a decent hotel. I think it was about 15,000 sefa per night.
How much is that in naira?
We have to start doing the math, like 22.5 or something.
Yeah,
Wait,
human
you know what?
calculator,
No,
calculate
25.
it.
You know what? Let me be saying it in sefa. You be doing it. So
Wait,
if I say
wait.
anything in sefa,
You said-
multiply
wait,
by
you said-
0.39.
Multiply by 0.39.
Yeah.
So
No,
15,000.
sorry, divide by 0.39.
Because I was like, when you said, I was like,
Yeah.
is their currency now more than?
No, their currency is better than ours. So just divide by 0.39. So 15,000 sefa, you're looking at about 45K a night. No, sorry, 38,005. That is not too bad for a hotel, right? 3
Okay.
nights. Yeah, so
That's crazy. Wait.
yeah, our currency is bad. If you stay here, you won't know how bad it is.
So
When you
wait, they
start
have a
interacting
better
outside.
currency than
Yeah,
we
they do. Yeah, they do.
Because 15K sefa is 30, almost
yeah,
40K.
Yeah, they do.
That's most times 3.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
That's where we are. It's just because people are here. You're still buying bread. You're still dealing in naira. You think the world is still okay. It's bad.
Wasn't
Very
there
bad.
a time where
there
like
was.
you get like maybe like
When we went 2
Sefa
years,
will be
when
more than-
we went 2 years ago, it was better. Now it's not. That's just 2 years. So don't stress. Let's just continue the math. So hotel 15K sefa a night. Feeding 5K sefa a day. Please help me do this. Divide by 0.39.
don't give me work. what do you call it?
5K. 5K
5K.
divided by 0.39. Where are we at for that?
Sorry, 5K
Divided
divided
by
by
0.39.
0.39.
Yeah.
39. 12,820. So like almost
Okay,
13K.
so let's say
about
13K feeding for 3 days, which wasn't bad. Transportation,
Not bad.
roughly about 5K as well, so 13K
13K.
too. And the major thing was it was bike. So I speak a little bit of French, so it helped with negotiation.
Oh shit! Oh
So
shit!
where did you learn French?
Eh?
Where did you learn French?
I'm a guy who likes to learn. So because I've been a bit free this last year, I've been
An
learning.
academic.
Yeah, so you know, I don't speak today. Dolly didn't like when I spoke the
Hey,
last week.
parlez-vous français?
Je parle français, je parle français. But anyway,
No, let me tell you, it's because when he says it, Isaac is acting as though he's putting on the French. Like that's what he'll be saying it yeah, like it's so Parisian.
Mademoiselle.
You'll not be saying it with someone. I'm like you, that I know you.
This is what he finishes.
Exactly. Mademoiselle.
But I like that he said
Mademoiselle, s'il vous plaît.
The only French I know is the one they taught in school. And there was this whole poem that they used to teach us. Something, je suis le gentleman avec VKGG. J'aime beaucoup voyager. Ma tête en partout.
Okay, yeah, I understand that.
I was like, okay. If you ask me if I understand French, that's the little I'll give you.
No, but yeah, it did help. Speaking a bit with the locals helped. So we weren't like lost. So yeah, it helps with reducing prices and stuff. So yeah, whole thing was just about 400k naira. So it's doable. And if you're not trying to break the bank,
please check the exchange rate again before you
go. Yeah, before you go, it might be worse now. It might be worse now. It was so funny when I was changing money at the border. The first guy that we saw, he gave us 0.39, and we're like, no, never. I said, don't worry, drop your bag, go and ask. He didn't even bother. So yeah, that's a breakdown for people who were wondering. And then finally, I saw this page that's called Walk in London on YouTube. You guys should check it out. What they do is aesthetically pleasing videos of walking. It's how I knew I was getting old. Literally, somebody carries a camera and walks down a street in London and is just walking and showing you like the different angles of the street. And he's like, I'm here now at this time. It took me 5 minutes, and he's writing the stuff. Now, I knew I was old because I was enjoying this. And I felt good because millions of us were there enjoying it. If it was a page that had like 5k, I'd be like, okay, maybe I'm there were millions of people commenting that, oh my God, this is so good. I remember this place. And I remember that place too. And I felt good. So
all the millions of people are all weird. Don't mind me, I'm just kidding. Because the things that interest me too.
It was weird that I found it interesting actually. And again, I was worried about algorithm because the algorithm suggested it that you might like, and I'm like, and I played and I did like exactly. It was so weird. But you guys should check it out. It made me also realize what I've been saying. Lagos is ugly because there's nowhere that I can carry camera. First of all, ping.
No, but you see, I think one of the reasons why people find these type of videos like enjoyable is because like it captures a place where you might just be passing by normally and not really paying attention to like the stuff that is around. But I bet you, I know Lagos is a ghetto.
Tell me where you want to carry camera.
There'll be somewhere because
let me tell you, when my brother came to Nigeria, like maybe was it 2 years ago or so, or was it last? I don't even remember. All the time is just merging into each other. When he came, he went to, because my brother is very into, I think you guys from the last time he was on the podcast, you guys know that he's very into like Lagos history and things like that, because this is where we're from actually. So he went to, I think he would just stop at like, he went to church. So he normally goes to church with my mom when he's around, and our family church is in Lagos Island. So afterwards, he might just want to stop at the most random place. My mom always indulges him with all these things that he wants to do. So he stopped at him. In fact, I saw the picture yesterday. Maybe that's why it's fresh in my mind. He stopped at like, he'll take pictures, like you see him at some places in Lagos Island that you would literally not know it's there, or you might see it and just kind of like pass it by, because Lagos does a lot to your mental. You're not thinking about stopping today. You don't even want anybody to carry your phone.
Exactly. I get.
I like how you're supporting my points.
I get Lagos Island, right? There might be some aesthetic
and there are
shots
some picturesque places,
right? Some picturesque places, but apart from that, I don't think regular places are good enough.
You just try. Since you are watching all these things and you do content and stuff, you just try to.
You want me to walk in Agungi? There's water. I can't even walk.
But I think camera actually does things to you. Like, I don't know the quality of cameras these days, but when you look at things, seeing them with your ordinary eyes, it doesn't look like what you saw before.
Let me tell you why I don't agree. I had this YouTube video, my Lagos living video. Subscribe to my channel. You'll see very aesthetically pleasing videos. There's a shot where I went to buy vegetable from the local guys that sell vegetables. And that shot did not look that aesthetically pleasing.
Are you sure it's not you?
No, it wasn't a me thing. It wasn't a me thing, because someone who watches my videos like, bruh. And I'm like, hey, I'm trying to show authentic. This is where I buy tomatoes from. This is what it looks like. It's not pleasing. And that's like the average you get.
But at the end of the day, I just feel like, because the world is crazy. You see some white man that likes the fact that you're shooting on a local street.
Yes, I know.
And the algorithm suggests it to all his guys too. And they watch so content. I don't know how they predict these things, but
Fair.
content is weird.
Fair.
Content
Fair.
is very weird. I
Fair.
recently got like I recommended a video recently
Yeah.
that said I'm dead. I don't know this, and he had like 10 million views.
I mean,
I
it's a
don't know who
catchy
this
title.
person is,
Yeah.
but I was like, oh, okay. Obviously, I could tell from even reading. I understood that the person who
Yeah,
owns
he
the
recorded
video
it before.
recorded it prior to
Yeah.
his death, and now
Yeah.
he's dead. And yeah, so I think because I'm always like into like deep,
Yeah.
things like when it comes to like living life
Mm,
and afterlife and things like maybe that's why it was
it
recommended
was
to me. But I was
fair.
curious, like, who is this person that suddenly I saw on my
Yeah.
my feed, and he's gone now, and I played the video just curious
Mm.
to know. The guy
Yeah.
had died from cancer.
Yeah, I saw
He had a
that.
really
that
bad
he,
cancer. It
yeah.
spread to his body, his bones. So he was leaving this video as to. I think so. He has been doing this video for a while. It wasn't. He's been a YouTuber for a
Yeah.
while.
Oh,
I think
okay.
he does guns.
Oh,
Like
okay.
Yeah.
he I don't know.
He was a popular YouTuber. Actually.
You know the person?
Yeah, because I saw the video.
Eh.
Yeah. I saw it on Instagram initially where they were talking about this guy who made a video that was to drop after he passed, and obviously I went to watch and I was like, oh, fair enough. Was very thoughtful to his audience to do that.
Very, very thoughtful to his
Yeah,
audience. Because I think
and-
that's really what it was. It was really just like to say this
Yeah.
is how I want this to go on.
I guess
after.
that's sort of a grace with terminal illnesses. You can plan things like that when it just doesn't come. And next thing you're hearing, oh, we're not seeing any videos again. Yeah, I know it's sad, but
yeah.
But yeah, Sha, that's just a bit about where I've been. So, my AP for this week. This week I didn't have time to read much because I was editing shorts. Before I even say that, guys, let me do a quick dialogue. This is very important because the work that is going into editing these days, guys, is not easy. So please, wherever you're listening to this podcast, no, it's very important so that it will catch everybody. Wherever you're listening to this podcast, right? I want you to, if it's a streaming app, please go to Road to 30, leave a follow. If it's on Spotify, please leave a comment, leave a like, share to your friends and family. Please,
on
please.
iTunes, please, you can
On
iTunes,
iTunes.
Apple Podcast, sorry, I should say.
Yes.
You can leave a rating and a review.
Fantastic. And on YouTube, I beg,
Please
subscribe. So now I did not know why people used to say you guys should please subscribe to the channel until this week. So I'm begging you guys, please subscribe.
What do you mean you didn't know until this week?
Have you tried editing videos to come out regularly? It is not easy.
No, it's definitely not
I
easy
always used to trivialize it. It is not easy.
I know it's not easy.
So please, we need to get to 500 subscribers on our YouTube this month. So please, wherever you're listening, just pause, go to YouTube, Road to 30 podcast, hit subscribe. Please. It's at 500 subs that YouTube will say you can start paying us, so it will make it better. So please.
So you can give us money by giving us.
Yeah, you can give us
us a subscription.
That's all we're asking for.
So you have to send us the money. I mean, you can if you want to.
They will not send you 500 naira again.
500 naira is something.
Be thankful, bro.
No, I mean it is. It's something. It's what 30 pence. But anyway.
But you can buy Fanta. You can buy Coke.
Well, fair. Please, guys, subscribe everywhere. And then once you're done with Road to 30, just quickly go to Isaac Kanye and subscribe to. That would also that would mean a lot. But yes, please subscribe, leave a comment, leave a review, leave a like, share to your friends, to your sisters, to your moms, to your dads, everybody, please. That would really go a long way. So now that is done, thank you very much as you do so. That's how they say it in church, Abby.
God bless you.
God bless you as you do so. So my AP for this week. Freedom. Sorry.
English.
God. English. Baba talk freedom. Anyway. Look at me, upstanding citizen. Anyway, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. So this was by Epictetus. I was back in my bag, in my Stoic bag again, because I was stressed. But yeah, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. So try to, I know it's not easy as a Nigerian, because almost everything is beyond your control. But still, let's just try and attain freedom by those things that you cannot do anything about, man. Just leave. It could be difficult as a Nigerian, I know, because sometimes nothing is actually within your control. But just, leave it to God if you believe in that, or just generally leave it, focus on the things that you can control, and things will get better. with time, hopefully,
Yeah.
and with money too. But yeah, that's my EP for this week.
Does everyone believe things will get better though?
Well,
Is it easy to believe things will get better?
You have
brother,
to have hope. Oh.
you have
That's
to
just
have
what
hope,
it is. That's just the truth.
Because even going back to what you said, what's freedom to Nigeria?
bro. That's why sometimes I will be saying these things and I'm like, boy, Nigerians will be looking at you like this
Because-
is
But
not.
there are some people you know them when you meet them.
Mm.
There are some people that when you meet them, they might not even have much, they might not have anything, but you can tell that this person is free. And how you know a person is free is again, they are not bound by like
Contentment, I guess.
contentment is freedom.
Yeah,
If you're okay with not saying that you're not looking to get more or whatever, but if you're okay with like you're happy with what you
Yeah.
have, you're not focusing on the things you don't
yeah,
have, but the things that you do have and finding joy in them, you're free.
but like, so I totally get that. Where I'm coming from is,
Mm.
so for example, if you have enough, let's say enough money in Nigeria to afford a therapist, they can talk you through this process. But the
Mm.
average Nigerian
Cannot.
just sees his struggle.
Yeah, I know.
And I don't want to focus on Nigeria, but
Yes, I try not to.
you know what? Freedom.
Yeah, exactly. You see, you cannot control the fate of the average Nigerian.
Yeah.
So just live
Live
your
it,
own
yeah.
life. Just
Very
live your
true.
own life. It's
So
difficult.
what this reminds me of is there's a song that Indiari has called is it There Is Hope? I think that's the name of the song. And in the song
Okay.
she's talking about how like, she used to so Indiari obviously she has a certain amount of money now.
Mhm.
But in the song she was first of all talking about how, there was a time when she wanted to have money, and then when that time came, she realized that like it doesn't really bring you what you thought it would.
Yeah.
But then she met a young boy in Brazil, I think, who was very poor and blind. And the guy, she said that he was just extremely happy and extremely free. And she couldn't understand, like, what's
Mm.
in this situation. In a normal situation, you look at her and like, this person
It's
is going
terrible.
through it.
Yeah.
Like, you understand? But she said this person was like extremely free. And it was in looking at that person, she realized that, like, man, it's not even because don't get me wrong, and I'm not trying to sound like as if no one doesn't need or one doesn't like want to have money or be
Yeah.
comfortable, but I'm just saying that like a lot of the times like it's easy to to attach comfort with money or
Mm.
contentment
Yeah.
with money, that if you only had this, if you only had this, you'll be fine. But then there are people, and you always see them sometimes in the people that you don't you look at them and you say they really don't have anything. So not like people that like have money and saying that
Yeah.
money doesn't bring happiness. It's hard for you to listen to somebody that says things
No,
like that.
I've said that
You
thing.
know,
If a poor man tells me that, I'm not listening.
if a poor
If
man
a poor man tells me money doesn't bring, I'm
no,
not
but
listening.
if a rich man tells you that, will you listen?
Yeah, because you have perspective. A
But
poor man never.
it doesn't change like it doesn't
I
change
know it
that,
doesn't change the message, but it just
yeah.
makes it look better. It's like if I can't cook and I'm telling you chicken is easy to cook. What are you saying? But when I've been cooking for 10 years and I tell you, bro, chicken is easy to cook, then you listen.
And no, but you can always, I mean, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying. But I've always seen on Twitter, on social media,
Yeah.
where a rich person will say
Oh yeah, for
that
sure.
it
for
doesn't
sure.
bring happiness.
No,
and
it
then
has-
people will say, I beg, I beg, I beg.
No, of course.
Don't
Of course.
talk that
Of
one,
course.
you know.
That's why they would drop you. I'd rather
They will
cry.
say, I beg,
Exactly.
but they say,
I'd rather
give me.
cry in the
They say, I remember, I don't even know who it was. They were talking to. Is it Adekunle? They say, yeah, give us. Give us the money.
I won't lie. That whole "I'd rather cry in a Benz thing" is a tricky argument, but let's not get into that today. No, because really, I think anything that money can solve as a problem, poverty can't solve either. So let's just focus on that. I feel like people forget that, like things like mental health issues and stuff like if you're truly depressed and money can't solve it, poverty won't solve it either. You get so any problem that money can't solve, nothing can solve except it's So yeah. But anyway, let's talk about what we came here for today. This was a topic by our guest. Well, don't drag me. So
I like
no,
the
but
topic actually.
yeah. So let's talk about love. Love in your 20s. So all of you have an idea of what love looks like, but it's never really like that, have you? Or was it like that for you guys? I don't know. I'm now a single father of two. um, I'm a single father of two. So, but yeah, what is love like, or where do we even handle this from? Let's talk a bit about heartbreak, right? Let's talk about what the idea of love.
Maybe we can start from the beginning. Take it back.
Take
to
it from the
top.
top. Okay, so in your 20s, why is love the way it is?
How was love before your 20s?
I didn't know.
You know what love was?
No, throughout my teens, my early teens when we were in secondary school, there was nothing like love there.
For real?
No, like it was more like I like this person, I like
Yeah,
this
but you know
person.
that now.
I know that now. At that
But
time,
then were you thinking
I
about it
knew
as
it
love?
wasn't love.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it was obvious it wasn't love. We're in secondary school and we liked each other and we wanted to touch breast. And we did.
Is that how you thought?
That is how I thought about it.
Because, like, if you think about it with all the movies we see,
Yeah.
right, and even in my own experience, not my own, but even like my own secondary school like experience, if like I mean I know that obviously guys think differently, of course, but like you see all these like idea of like high school love and high school romance and high school they were high school sweethearts, you know, like so like there is a thing whereby there's a you might look later and be like, oh no, that wasn't like really love, but there is a thing where you think where love might exist even at
I remember that young. We spent a lot of time in SS3 watching Vampire Diaries.
Exactly.
Did you ever think that was attainable, like that kind of thing?
Nope.
I knew then, right, that it wasn't love, because again, being late, that wasn't late teens, that was like mid teens,
yeah.
15, 16. Obviously, But then by the time I got to like 20, I started to understand what love was for Isaac at the time. But again, I didn't love myself enough to then give someone love. But obviously, at every stage in life, you have an idea, right? That was when I actually started to have an idea, like, oh, tell this person you like them, do all these things for them. But then there was still the fact that I was still learning, I was still healing. So obviously, selfishness comes in sometimes and all those kind of things. So then as I got older, like 24, 25, and what's that thing they say? Frontal lobe. Unfortunately, my frontal lobe came during COVID. Very sad. Very sad. But by then I started to be like, okay, cool. And we had started this then. So it gave me like, an idea, listening to women. When you look back at all the things you've done too, you're like, why did I do all that? But then my idea of love started to change then. So I guess by the time I got to where I am now, as we are where we are now, we know a bit more about ourselves. That's me. And I think I have a better understanding of love, how to give it, how to take it. Because the younger me did not know how to take it. I thought love was just about giving. But then you can only give what you have. So the one I was giving self was not good. But I thought I was doing a good job. But now, I always shout about it here, like as a man, you need to know how to receive love as well. So now I'm getting a better rounded idea of it. It's not easy.
It's not.
Sometimes we fight. Sometimes it's difficult to take. It's difficult to give.
Like you have to, but it makes sense to have arguments.
Yeah, so that's a bit about it. What about you?
I mean, before I even talk about love, like the only reason why I even said okay,
it's true.
Why exactly? Did they break your heart?
No, break me.
So they cannot be guys.
Sorry, he wasn't always like this.
He wasn't always basically like what it is okay. So I used to run a podcast. By the way, thanks to you guys because you guys were an inspiration.
Oh, thank you.
That brought flower. Give me flower.
So I used to run a podcast called One Day at a Time, talking about life as a process.
Yeah.
And I realized that it was not a love podcast, it was a life podcast. But every episode where something about love was mentioned or talked about, there were a lot of listeners. So people actually like the idea of love. But I feel like people don't go deep down to search themselves for what they want and they end up taking what's available. So it's a whole long conversation and it's difficult because they struggle between your mental side and your emotional side. So in my head, I'm like, since I'm coming here, let's see everybody's perspective. Let's make people think. And then on your podcast for, I think, 3 months ago and then again a month ago, some people sending letters. Yeah. I think one of them was talking about the fact that a guy is doing her dirty. And she was asking for advice.
Yeah.
And it's a consistent theme. Both in, sometimes babes are doing guys dirty. And I'm like, is there more to it? Is it because we're not opening up ourselves to tell ourselves that I can actually get something better than this?
So this is what I think about that, right? I think like first of all, we're broken people.
Okay.
Generally. I have my own ideas of not my ideas, but I have my beliefs about why we are that way. I won't start going deep into it now, but you guys should, if you have listened, you understand what I'm talking about. But we're all broken people.
Yeah.
And like I think that what happens and is that we're also selfish people. human beings are generally
Yeah.
selfish.
Facts.
You
Yeah.
know, it's why like a young child would not even want to share. The child does not even understand the concept of.
Yeah, but it's his own.
It's
his own.
I can't forget this. I remember. I think it was when a few years ago, when my cousin's kids were still really young. Um, one of them was playing with one. I don't know. One of them brought something home, like a toy home or something like
Yeah.
that, and then she wasn't playing with it. Also, then the she was playing with something else, and then the boy started playing with the toy. And then it's as soon as she saw that
Yes,
he
no,
was
it's like,
playing,
no,
it's
I'm
like,
ready
okay,
to play with it now.
I want it now.
Facts.
Now I want it. And it's like,
Facts.
oh, you're not playing with it. You're playing. No,
It's
now
not.
I want this one. And it is like what you see like with children. And so you learn to share. You learn to
Mhm.
be, to not be as selfish. You learn all these things. And so when it now comes to human beings and how we handle love, first of all, with the person who is treating another person badly, it's
Yeah.
because there is something that they are clearly getting out of it.
True.
And they are selfish,
True.
and so they will hold on to that. So they might not want to be with a person. It could be either a man or a woman. Let's say a man or a woman will be with a person who, like, they don't really like, but the person is giving them something that they like.
Sex.
It could be the sex. It
Lifestyle.
could be lifestyle.
Very true.
Yes.
Mhm.
It could be what else?
Aesthetics.
It could be aesthetics. It might not even be all of those things, but it could also be, well, lifestyle, I guess, in terms of maybe the person is cooking for you, the person is cleaning for
Yeah.
you, the person is helping you out, the person is doing all these things.
Yeah.
And you like all those things. You just don't like the person. But instead of saying, hey, you know what?
Let me do
I can't
more.
be that person for you because I don't see you in that way.
Yeah.
They would rather have all that they can have, again, from a place of selfishness.
Mm.
That's why you will see a person who will be dating somebody, and the next thing you know, they have seen on WhatsApp that the person has married or something.
First of
Those
all, that
stories
thing is mad.
they blew my mind.
It's
is
heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking.
And they always pin it on us Yoruba boys. I'm like,
on you, Yoruba boy. I'm a good Yoruba boy.
It's very heartbreaking, but that's why you see some, because up to the end, the person, so that's why you will
Also-
even be seeing the person will say that, oh, this person was even texting me.
Yeah.
Up
Also,
to the
I
end.
think that's an indictment on women, because you people seem to know everything until that happens. Just saying.
What do you mean?
Like, women know everything until next thing. Tunde got married last week, and
Yeah,
we're
but
dating 2 days
sometimes
before.
again, so when you are saying that, oh, you should
Even
trust
in my
somebody.
example, I used the Yoruba person. I said that Tunde. But yeah.
But sometimes, like, sometimes you really, like, I used to always say that you will not always know, or you should know, or you might have hints. But I truly now firmly believe that sometimes some people really don't know.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes you just don't know. You don't see any signs.
Yeah.
You don't see anything that will point out to you that this person is doing anything bad.
Fair.
Sometimes you just don't. Or maybe even if you see something, it might not be enough to even be like, maybe it's anything like that.
I hear that.
Now, for the reverse, as to the ones that will
Yeah,
be in a
victims.
bad
Yeah.
situation and still stay, is love. I mean, sometimes it's love. Sometimes maybe because what some people do sometimes is that so we talk about love bombing, right?
Yeah.
How a person can do all these amazing things for you.
Yeah.
In fact, I saw a thread from somebody, and it was actually, this now tells you when you are getting to a place of emotional maturity. This person, a woman, she was pretty much saying how she met this guy, and instantly the guy was just giving her stuff, like, to the point that she had to be like at first it was like, okay, like really nice things, trips, so this, so here, and at first it was like nice, but at some point she was like, this is too much. Like, I don't even know if I like you like that yet.
Yeah, I've not had time to process how I feel.
Yes, and so she had to even be telling him that, like, calm down, like, and then of course, one of the things, unfortunately, and now this is not a general thing for all men, but because women always say, oh, we want a guy that does this for us, does this for us. What some guys think is that, oh, if suddenly a guy comes and does all these things for you and then you don't want him, then something is wrong with you.
You, not the guy.
As the woman. And so the woman was basically saying that I don't want all these things, because in her mind she started to suspect that, why is he doing all of this so fast?
Yeah.
Especially after I've already said, relax. You don't have to do all of this right now. You don't have to take me on a birthday trip. We're not even in bikini yet. So what she was basically trying to say is that, like, she doesn't know if later on down the line, then all of a sudden it now becomes it either stops, or that's just a way of him covering up other things that
of
might
course.
be issues.
I have
And
an addition to that. Sorry,
oh,
when you
okay.
finish.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
yeah, so back to the love bombing thing.
Mhm.
Sometimes a person will love bomb you, and especially if maybe you haven't experienced something like that before, they love bomb you. You're like, oh my god, I'm so in love. This person is so in love with me, and then the person stops. And when the person stops, what typically tends to happen is, what a woman would typically tend to do is, they start to have like this understanding. They have the memories. So even when the person is acting funny,
They remember the
they'll
good
be like,
times.
okay, but this person can be good. This person has the
Yeah.
capacity to be a great
That's when you
person,
now turn into
right?
Bob.
And so that's why you see that someone will wait. And what some very narcissistic, crazy people do is they will always give and take. So when they now notice that, like, okay, this person is beginning to step
Withdraw.
away from
We now
me,
put a
they
bit
will
more
now
love.
put a little bit more, just to hold you there.
I
So
hear
that
that.
you will now always think in your mind that, this person is a good. So that's why you see some babes or some men, when people are treating them funny and you're telling them that, why don't you just leave this person? They're like, I know he's a good person. I know she's a good person. I know. And your friends are like, bro, what do you mean?
That's when
But
you become Bob the Builder. Start
do you,
building a nigga.
do you understand? So
I
that's
know you
like,
can do
that's
it.
one
It's
of the reasons.
better.
And then some other reasons is just because some people feel like they might not get anything
I was
better.
going to say that low self-esteem.
Low
Low
self-esteem as well.
self-esteem.
Some
That's
people
what
think that
keeps
they might
people
not get
thinking.
anything better. I
Yeah.
also think that sometimes if someone has been with a person for like a period of time, it's almost just like,
I
would
want
all
to
that
say
time go
something
away?
actually. I want to talk about low self-esteem in niggas, in men, because I
Okay.
feel like it's brushed over. Because this thing you're saying about why would you stay in a relationship and all that, we always look at it from that side, where it's like, okay, woman with man.
Mhm.
But some men are with women purely out of that. And that it also leads into this thing with love bombing. They lead with money. That's all I have. You know, these low quality men that's on Instagram or on Twitter. They're like, oh yeah, fine girl, send me your account. Let me send you money.
Yep.
I
Put
would
your,
die on
put
the
your account
hill
number here.
that
Shout
that
out to
thing.
Macaroni.
Let
I'm
me
telling
freak
you,
your
I
account.
would die on the
Let
hill
me
that
freak
that
your
thing
account.
is low self-esteem. To
No, it
constantly
is.
lead
It
with
is.
something like money or material
It
stuff.
is.
But then there's the argument of, oh, but if as a man I have all this and this is what women want and blah blah. It's like you should have more than that to, sustain. So why start
Yeah.
with just that?
And that's the problem too that I find with men as well. I
Yeah.
find that because men have been conditioned to think, and that's why when people say that, oh, women only want, when I hear men that say women only want money,
Yeah, it's a
it's a
shallow.
disappointing thought,
Yeah.
because you see women out here, women. I mean, are we not always saying
Shout
it?
out Megan
When
Good.
we say
Shout out Megan Good. She's
Right.
paying allegedly.
I don't know how true that story, because
I think
that
it's
is
true,
crazy.
but that's wild. But you know my problem?
That's wild.
That's what a real man should be doing. And she's doing and she's doing it.
But you see, this is what I'm
So
saying.
shout out
You will
to
see
her.
women with men in the trenches.
Grinding
In
out.
the trench. I mean, some of the poor men that maybe you see,
Yeah,
they have
true.
women
True.
that are with them. Before Portable became Portable, Portable had women
Fair.
with him.
Fair.
So when people say that, oh, it's just money or it's just this, and again, you will see a woman who will still wait. Sometimes, a lot of times, we even know growing up that there were times in our household when daddy would not have, mommy will have. You might not even know that it's mommy that has.
Facts.
And so when people say that it's just money, it's unfortunate, because I'm like, it's so sad, because that means that you haven't really experienced
True
a person who
love.
truly loves you.
Loves
And
you
because
for
of
you.
that, that's why you now see that some men say, oh, let me get money. Get money. I heard some guys say that recently, some plantain.
What they said what?
Let me tell you what.
They said
Let me
what?
tell you what happened. This is what happened. So I went to buy plantain. And when I went to buy plantain, there was one babe that was sitting down around the side. So I was talking to, because there were like maybe 2 or 3 plantain sellers. I was talking to one in particular. So one woman was sitting down there. Then eventually, at some point, she stood up and she walked away. One of the other plantain sellers said, madam, they buy again. They buy again. This guy can't deny insult the woman. Like, now what for how? God will punish that woman. I can't even give her low price. 4K. When she go see 4K plantain. When she go see 4K plantain. The guy was so pained. And then some of the other guys are saying her, Baba, that's why that's to get money. When you get money, they follow you. That kind of thing.
But that's the average.
I asked the guy after, when I was leaving, I said, Baba, just relax, eh? The woman, she's not your source, it's God. God is your source. Don't worry, someone will come and buy your market.
Don't need to give motivational speech.
No, because the guy said, because he was paid. I was there for like about 20 minutes, because I was trying to
Yeah.
transfer everything. And that guy kept on, when you just, he would just kiss.
Yeah.
He would just go
Punch
on.
it off.
Anyway, so I say that to say that that's the mindset that a lot of people have, that if guys have money, the women, and they are not wrong. It's true. There are women that will come for it, but that is what they are looking for, right?
Let's come back to our 20s, by the way.
Okay.
We're talking about married people now.
I'm not even talking about married people. I'm
The
talking
idea.
about like
The idea of love, yeah.
Like, so coming back to it is that, like, it's not when you're talking about low self-esteem, it's because, like, men a lot of times have been conditioned to think that once you have, that's fine.
People call us providers.
You can.
I don't
and
get-
so that's why when they are giving a woman this and this and this and this and this, and then
I think that thing about providers is what, again, love through my 20s is another of those things I've had to unlearn. Because when you're younger, you're thinking of all the things you can do for a woman or for a girl, right? You're 20, trying to buy flowers, trying to book trips, trying to make her happy, trying to do all this, snap pictures, do this. What does she want? Where does she like to go? Buy dress, do all that. But then you have to at some point take a step back and be like, okay, what of me? Right? And at that, I think that also comes with age, because you're like, okay, I've done all this providing. Who is going to do something back for me? And then you start to learn a bit more about yourself. You start to unlearn this idea that you're only enough when you do all these things. And that's what led into my agenda, which is always give to your men. Men too should know how to receive not just physical gifts, but actual things, right? Like love. If a woman tells you she loves you, don't start thinking of all the things that you don't have. So yeah, I think actually being able to receive love, that's actually something that as you get older, you start to, learn. And you start to, and again, for men, I think that point when your mindset switches from all I am is a provider to wait, I'm actually a human being, is something they don't teach, right? Is again going back to this idea of low self-esteem. Some people can see themselves more than that. That's why you see people, just like your question, you see people who, I'm in this relationship, and all I'm doing in this relationship is making this woman happy, right? And you see women who, I'm in this relationship, this guy is doing all these things for me. Can I really go elsewhere? Do I really think that I am more than, can I get somebody that will see me the way he see me, that will also give me all these things? So there's that switch where until you actually say, I'm a person, right? Let me love myself. Let me understand why I can't seem to unlearn the fact that if I don't give this person 100K, I'm not deserving of love. Until you switch that, then it's kind of hard to, like I say, take the next step in love and growth and all that stuff through your 20s. And it's why, like, I started off explaining, love for myself in different stages, because I'm sure that the Isaac at 18, 19 that thought he was something, like his definition of love then did not really include self-understanding, self-awareness, and all those kind of things, right?
I just remember that in secondary school,
God.
Valentine's gift we used to give.
Oh my days. Perfume.
I can call names,
Cards.
but
Stop
let's give it.
Stop it.
My chest.
No, but it was nice.
But that was all
It
we
was
cared
pressure.
about.
Exactly.
It was pressure.
Exactly. Yes.
It was pressure to guys, bro.
Yes.
Because if you're dating someone and you see your guy,
almost some people used to go.
they do times 4 of what you did.
I know somebody.
And your mind, like, even if your babe is not doing, your mind is my babe thinking
that
are you good enough?
Ah.
So it's a whole thing. So even
Yeah.
love for me, starting from the very beginning, like when I was 11, 12, 13, like junior secondary school, I didn't really think about love as a thing.
Facts.
The first person I even ever had a crush on was GS3.
Oh.
And,
Was it? Tell me.
and in that GS3, like this story is even mad. They punished us to kneel down. And we knelt down and I saw like, oh wow. It was like
So it was the punishment.
it was the punishment. And I was like, oh wow.
Wow.
From the
my
punishment, I took a walk to dining hall. And I was like, okay. Then boys now knew that guy, you like this girl. Like, fam, go and ask this babe. I'm like, fam, she doesn't like me, bro.
It's so crazy because immediately your guys and your girls know you like somebody. It's like, oh yeah, okay.
Yes, and it becomes everybody's duty to bring you guys together.
Everybody's
That's my
duty.
point. So then I'm sure that's why I know then I didn't know what love was.
Guy, they pushed me for like
wasn't
4 years. I finally made a move in SS2. Three,
Just-
2 solid years
Okay,
after.
now I remember.
Now you know.
Shout out to her though. She's doing fine these days.
She's doing fine these days. She's married and good.
Oh yes, she is. Yes, shout out to her. Oh my god.
So love in itself, like growing up, like it didn't really make much sense. Like I just knew that I had parents. I didn't go out a lot, so I never saw love outside. I was never in a circle where someone went took someone for dinner. I just saw love from my father and mother's point of view. And my parents were they are pastors, so they used to do counseling for people as well.
Oh.
So even growing up from the age of 10, 11, I used to attend marriage sessions.
Interesting.
So they call when they call couples, I'm there, and I had this guy. He lives in Ibadan now. The guy will come and he will say things about love that make you think. So I never really saw love from just the emotional point of view as a person. I think that came when I was even older.
Yeah.
So going to, like I said, I went to a relationship in SS2. Yeah. And when I went in there, it was give as much as you give yourself to someone. And so at some point, it now became, like Isaac said, people wanted to press breast. So you the guy that is trying to be a nice person, you guys not telling the guy, you see my good grind. As it was
Exactly. It was all for that.
I was so uncomfortable with everything. Now imagine on Valentine's Day when people are giving dolls, giving chocolates.
Oh yeah.
And you are
we had to
like,
sneak those things in. That was a lucrative economy.
I can't even sneak it because I don't know if they will suspend me.
Facts.
I think it does my babe.
Can they suspend you for that?
Ah yes, now.
Does my babe?
The school we went to.
Does my babe think that I'm less of a man because someone is giving?
Facts.
So I'm like, so in that whole phase, it was just seeing love from my parents' point of view, and I never saw my dad give my mom anything lavish, but he made sure that everything she needed at every point he gave. So that was my idea of love.
True.
And I never saw my mom fight my dad. Like I never, maybe they did outside, but I never saw it. And one thing I now realized growing up is the environment people grew up and what they saw as love.
It affects.
If you're not conscious, it affects you entirely.
It's not even if you're not conscious, it will always affect you.
Yeah. Because that's what you
either in negative or a positive way.
Exactly. It's what you settle for.
Because it was post Trinity, which was like 16, 15, 16, that I now got exposed to the entire world. And I saw how people were faring. People are going through stuff. And the first time I saw someone that was being, I don't want to use the word abused, but you can tell that this guy is doing you dirty and I cannot relate. So I'm like, it's only logical to go.
Yeah.
It's only logical to go. And then, okay, we'll go into the entire 20s thing, but at 20, I'm like, okay, we'll find love. Now, 29, boy, never married. They're telling you,
let's address that. Have you experienced love?
Have I experienced love? Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I went through heartbreak.
Tell me about
2 years ago.
Hey, yeah, how'd she do?
Nigeria happened. She left the country.
Oh, I don't think that's that deep.
So what means that deep in one sense?
So,
no, finish your story.
So, we built something for like a year and a half, although we were uncertain about certain things.
Okay.
And then, okay, when I say certain things, should I go this deep? So there's. Let me be a love doctor here.
Okay, go on.
So basically, I'm a yes.
Okay.
She was a yes as well.
Ah.
So it was already shaky from the beginning, but I'm a man of faith, so I was trusting God for something.
Freedom is the only word.
You cannot
disregarding things that lie beyond your control. That's beyond your control.
So I was hoping or praying for things to change, but at some point in between, it wasn't working out. So we had to. So it was painful for me. Logically, and like I said, logically, that was how I grew up.
Yeah.
Logically, why are you going into that relationship?
Facts.
Emotionally I was single for 8 years before then, not because ladies were unavailable.
Yeah.
But it took me 8 years to find the person I wanted.
Wow. I like that. It's very intentional.
Like, I got here after, and everybody tells me that guy is not possible. You're not single for you. Because I joke a lot. So like, this energy you give is not possible that babes will not like you.
I believe you.
And in my head, I'm like, it took me 8 years. Genotype is not holding me back.
Yeah.
At some point, I started thinking, fam, I'm adopting a child. Damn that childbirth thing. It was that deep for me. So when you broke, I went through like 7 months of healing.
7 months makes sense.
Like 7.
I think it's small, Seth.
It's small.
At some point, I didn't even know I was hurting until my friends told me that, guy, there's something wrong. I'm going to fix that shit, bro.
Yeah, you're lucky now. I mean, it takes me 6 months to get there. Like 6 months to understand, shit, all this thing I'm doing is because it's paining me.
I actively walked past all of that. And then going in again. So now I'm turning 29 soon. And loving someone, I know I have love to give. Like, all my friends tell me, like, hey, hard guy. But when they see me find someone that they know I like,
you become soft.
I become a soft guy.
Yeah.
I suppose that's how it's
It's
supposed
meant
to
to
be.
be that
And
way.
when people tell me, I'm like, fam, I can't give softness to everybody. There's not so much you can give. And like I said, that whole 8 years, there were a lot of talking stages.
But they
And
never.
talking stages emotionally draining.
It
It depends,
is.
though.
I got to
It
the
can
point
be,
where
especially when you're looking for something serious.
someone recommended if their friend to me. I was like, I'm not sure I can go into a talking stage at this point.
Because how do you start with hello?
I'm stressed.
Hi, my name is.
my favorite
What
color
do you
is
like?
I can crack all the jokes in the world. You can
Yeah.
laugh, but I'm
Oh.
emotionally drained. Like,
Yeah.
Fair.
so the idea of love in itself, like I said, was built on what I saw.
Mm,
And right now, growing into late 20s, it's
29-year-old man.
Just 28, until you're 29 or 28.
Thank you. You are the 29-year-old one here.
I was 29, you
will
are 29, we are
get
28.
Like, let's
We are
be
You
real.
will get
We are 28.
there.
But we're not there yet.
So it's now I'm opening up to the emotional side of love.
Mm,
Because in my teenage years, it was all logic.
fair.
Babe does nonsense.
Yeah.
You tell her, what are you doing? And
True.
so like I think my first relationship, like the one I got to SS2, it was a case of if she's not this at some point, so she broke up with me.
Chai.
I was eating lunch and I was like, oh, you want to break up? Okay, bye. And
We were young.
and her friend came back to me, like they went for siesta. And
Yeah.
she came back to me prep and she's like, oh God, come. What's
not-
wrong with you, bro?
Bro.
What's wrong with you? So my guess is that she was going to cry during siesta.
No more.
And I
And
realized
gossip.
a few days later that I actually liked this person.
Mm.
What are they going to do? I started going to a class of food. Not to go and say I'm sorry, just to show my face.
You know, it's so funny. This is the way niggas act. Niggas act like this.
This is so real. It's so real because all of a sudden she's at the back chilling and you're just in the class. You're just there talking with every other person, just trying to make sure she sees you.
She sees you right there.
I was lucky
Jesus.
she came back. I went back. I didn't want
God. Young love, nasty looking stuff.
So yeah, that's my own love story. I think Dolly can do the rest.
Okay, but wait. I want to address that. So now that you're in your like late 20s, right? You now have an idea of the emotional side of love.
Yeah.
What is holding you back?
What's holding me back?
That's a good one.
I think at this point I'm in, it's a case of right now if I'm going to a relationship, I'm going long haul.
Okay.
It's 5 years.
Like marriage.
Precise, it's 5 years. How old am I now?
28.
28.
It's 5
No, I
years.
don't want to reach 100. It's too far. Okay, 75 years. So what it is for me is if I meet you, I'm trying to balance that emotional and logical side. Because my logical side is evaluating, can I stand you for that long? Although I know that you will change over time.
Facts.
Yes.
But can I stand the
Now
way
the problem
you
I
think?
get with my woman be that we always go back and forth about that.
I know you're a So that's the biggest thing holding me back. And that goes into something I was going to share. It's a thread on Twitter that was shared with me in 2016
Okay.
about the perfect indecisive guy.
That's you right now.
That used to be me.
Oh, fair.
I'm growing away from it.
Okay.
And it was part of the reason why I was single for 8 years.
And
okay, but up to now, people still think I'm indecisive. But for me, it's a case of I'm trying to pick. But it's a whole... So there are different ideas. People say what's going on is you're still being indecisive. But for me, it's a case of I don't want to miss certain things. And like I always tell people, man, the streets now, man. The streets
are very nasty. Yeah.
So dating polar spirit.
Yeah, it's very nasty.
So when I get hold on because you don't know what's out there.
Fair. It's just dating.
But please, if they are doing you dirty, please go. I
There's
don't advocate for.
There's that.
So
Don't stay where you're
for
not
me,
loved.
where I am right now is bringing it all together, and I feel like I'm close.
Okay. Have you found somebody?
Yeah. We are
Is she
talking
AS,
it
are you
out.
compatible?
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
sure? You don't sound sure.
They're still.
So it's something where so you know this thing where they say ask us the first question.
Yeah.
I don't. So the reason why I can't, I'll explain off air.
Okay.
I can't explain it on air.
Yeah.
But it's compatible, yeah.
Okay.
And then we are working that thing out, So in case you hear that I'm getting married next year.
I beg, give me heads. I don't have money for it. I keep saying this thing.
I heard you when you said that. So there will be ample time
Exactly,
to prepare
please.
for it. So
Need ample time to buy
it's a working phase. So and to be honest, I'm in this right now, knowing that Like I'm not going in knowing that it will not work out. But I know that there's still a chance that something goes on down the line. And
Okay.
it's not me saying no, she might say no.
Okay.
And I've built myself to the point where I can accept someone saying, I
No.
don't want to go on with this at this time.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's nice.
And I think I've always been like that. So like based on the fact that, like I said, what I told my, I've never had a breakup where it was toxic. The
Same.
first person that we split, at some point, talking every 3 days, it became every 1 month. Like you said, she go with that country. So it
Facts.
became every year. But if I call her today, it's banter
Yeah, facts.
because we ended well. And okay, I've only dated 2 people all my
Facts.
life. So the second person, the same thing.
You know what's funny? They're all married now. All those people were dating.
Fam, we said we'll make it.
Yeah, I know, but it's like while you were talking, I just dipped.
Yeah,
It's
so
like,
life has actually
even
changed.
what's her name is
Yeah.
married now. And
So-
I'm like, oof.
Life has actually changed.
Yeah.
I actually met her in UK once.
Yeah, me too. I didn't know she was going to get married early.
You cannot relate.
You can't relate. Don't worry. We have history. But yeah.
So yeah, but
It's amazing. They're all married
it's a
now.
different phase. So
Yeah.
like for me, if it's a case of this doesn't work,
Mhm.
I'm totally fine with it.
Mm.
And I've never been someone to box myself and say by 30 I must be married.
Mm.
Mommy, please don't hear this. So my
Mm.
my
Without
mom has her own
dragging.
agenda.
Of course.
But if I can, I will. But I won't push my luck and say, let me
Right.
just go in because I'm turning 30.
Fair.
That's good.
It has to be
Fair.
something I can work with. And that's one thing I don't think people have fully. Okay, there are different types of people.
Yeah.
Like I have a friend who is Igbo. And his mom told him that, no man, you're not in that phase yet to go and build your house in the village first before you think of
come
that.
back
So
and do
people
that.
have different ways they see these things. So
True.
also, and that's one thing that I don't know, because like this topic is long. Like
I
there are
agree,
different
I agree.
aspects of it.
Yeah.
But I'll share the thread on the perfectly indecisive guy. You guys can share with your audience.
Okay.
But even for the guys and for the ladies,
Yeah.
because it also gives tips for the ladies how to deal with it.
Mm.
Because when this person shared with me in 2016, I was like, oh wow, look at my nakedness outside.
Facts. Facts.
But it's something you have to walk through. If not, you don't just get out of it.
Mm.
So yeah, that's my take on love.
Interesting.
Hmm.
I'm just surprised that you're almost 30 and you're not married. I'm disappointed.
Wow.
I'm
It must be
joking,
nice
I'm
to be older than me and not married as well.
See, it's not that deep. It's just
Yeah,
it's just
definitely.
marriage. It's just marriage. No, but interesting dynamic on love.
Perspective.
Actually, interesting. Thank you, perspective. Because the more I think about it, right? Again, throughout your 20s, you change.
Mhm.
You genuinely like change. So to think that love as well would have to be affected by who you are also is normal, right? Like who I was at 20, who I was at 22. When I realized that, oh, maybe I'm actually a very terrible person, the way you react to that love wise changes. But then when you also look at things like you said, now I have to look at you and say, okay, well, from 22 to 100, we're together.
Yeah.
Who I am at 22, who I am at 25, who I am at 28, those people are changing. You're changing as well. Are those people going to be okay?
Yeah.
So say, like even Dolly, you say it sometimes that the Isaac that you met at uni
Very different.
and this one now, I'm sure that Isaac at uni. I mean, the early days of the pod, I was saying stuff and
Still,
that
it's a different person.
and I'm a different person now, and I
Mhm.
wonder how that has changed my attitude
No,
to
it will always change because you're always growing up. That's the thing, and that's why like one for me. So I'll come back to this, but like how I guess I've always been like an emotional person,
Mhm.
right? From when I was young. I have an understanding now though that one of the reasons why one of my perspectives on love obviously was shaped by my environment and not in the best way. Because I always just felt like I was always like this loving person and who always just wanted love and stuff like that. But I don't think it came from a good place.
Yeah.
And I think it came because with my parents, there was never really any love there. I always knew it. We all knew it. Do you understand what I'm saying? There wasn't really any love there, and so for most of the marriages that I saw, most not all,
Yeah.
there were a few that were good. That I'll be like, oh, okay, that's like a good marriage. And I used to watch a lot of TV as well, so you also see there as well. And I used to be like, oh, okay, like there's something good. And so I always just knew that I didn't want what my parents had. And I don't think that's unfair to say. I think my parents would not want what they had for me
for you
either. You understand? And so I always just knew that I didn't want that. And I always feel like I can have something that is really, really good.
Yeah.
But again, it didn't come from a good place. Like, I think it came from a place of like anxiety and fear of rejection and things like that. And so that affected a lot of ways in how I loved. So there is this idea that, oh, okay, treat this person this way, treat this person this way. And I've said this, more recently. Treat this person this way, be good to this person this way, blah blah blah. And if you do all these things, almost in the same way as the money thing, but not in terms of money, but
If you
more so
do
in
all
terms
these
of
things,
actions.
it will come.
If you do all these things,
Yeah.
not that it will even come, but like more so that when you have that person, then and you're being nice to them, you're being kind to them, you're helping them here when they call you, if you're doing all these things that are loving acts, but depending on where it comes from, right? When the person doesn't, or when a person treats you like a certain way,
Yeah.
after like you've done all of those things, and then you keep on feeling like maybe there was something that I didn't do enough, maybe there was something that I didn't try enough. Because the way I understood love is like I always just felt like, I'm not even love, but even humanity. I'm only getting to a point now in my life, and this is after I read Auntie Carol's book. I'm going to review Auntie Carol's books and Carol King's book. But there was something, you can be kind to so many people in the world. This is not just about relationship with people, but you can be kind to people, even the most random people, and they will treat you poorly. They will treat you really bad. You understand? And she had to. One of the things that she was saying in the book was you have to be careful who you allow, because you can be so kind to people and they will still treat you bad. And so I always used to be like,
True.
why would I be so nice and be good to somebody and they will do bad to me? I did not
It didn't make
understand that.
sense. Yeah.
So that means that there's something wrong that I'm doing, because there must be a reason why they feel like they want to do this bad thing to me.
True.
And so that affected me in the way. But I've always like wanted, like, I've always gone into like, love, and even from secondary school, like wanting something, even if it wasn't going to last. Do you understand what I'm
You
saying?
wanted
But wanting
something
something
fairy
that was
tale, something
meaningful.
serious.
Yeah, it's not even like a fairy tale
But
situation.
just
I just wanted a
meaningful.
meaningful
Something.
situation, something that was meaningful.
Fair.
And now that I'm older and I'm no longer like young, like I'm not a teenager anymore.
Yeah.
Because that teenage situation as well was also like looking at love and not realizing that there also needs to be work done on your own self.
True.
Before you go and get love outside.
True.
Because when you have not worked on yourself and you meet somebody, and especially if the person is not very great for you, maybe the person still has their own work that they need to do. What tends to now happen is like your idea and your understanding of love is now rooted in something that is not good.
Facts.
And so then you start to think that is what love is supposed to
and
be,
then that's
but
the
it's
word
not.
toxic.
Yes, it now becomes like a toxic
People
situation.
throw that word around, but they never really break it down.
But in my 20s, as I got better with my relationship with God first and foremost, because I feel like understanding. I've said this before. I think I said it last week, that one of the things that I've been saying to God of late is how much I don't understand His love, because I don't understand a relationship with anybody who you would be unfaithful to them time and time again, and I'm not saying you should be. I'm not saying that.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
of
saying
course.
unfaithful in terms of you not doing your parts
and they're still there
in the relation, and they're still there, and they're still telling you they love you, they forgive you, they let it go. It doesn't. It's not like it's foreign to me, but it's foreign to me because that's not the way humanity behaves.
Yeah,
true.
And so when the way I respond to God's love is always coming from a place of, have you forgiven me yet? Have you forgiven me yet? And so while I'm unlearning those bad habits in terms of how I receive God's love, it's helping me understand how to love people better, and to also like view myself in a way that maybe I haven't like viewed myself in. Like, am I patient enough? Am I kind? How do I respond to this? How do I treat myself? Because when you treat yourself a certain way, when you look at yourself a certain way, you can't, if you love somebody more than you love yourself, there's a problem there already.
Facts. Actually.
When you already love somebody so much that they become your
facts,
that's where your own channel of like, because when the person doesn't now give you back, it's heartbreaking.
It becomes
it
and you
can
start to
break
internalize that.
Yes, it can break you. You start to internalize it and things like that.
I want to say something. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to finish your train of thought?
Let me finish. So aside from the emotional aspect of love, I think what I've learned more so in my 20s is the commitment aspect of love. Because again, it's true. The fairy tale of the story, oh my God, the sweeping off of your feet, it sounds so good, but that is not all love is. I believe that love is commitment. I believe that when you commit to something and you hold on to that commitment, you understand? I think that that is love, because a lot of married people will tell you today, even if there was no infidelity, even if there wasn't anything that went wrong, because you change, because as individuals you change. I was listening to, Tabitha Brown.
No, I
You
don't.
know, you
Yeah,
know her,
I know
the
yeah.
afro and
The
the
big afro.
vegan.
No, I don't.
I think if I show you a picture of her, you know who
You
I'm talking.
definitely
You
know.
know,
There's no way you don't know her.
you will definitely
There's
know
no
who
way you
she
don't
is.
know
But
her.
she's
Who is
always
she?
talking like she has like a very soft voice, and she's always like, "Hello there." Do you know her?
No, I don't.
Okay, this woman here. Do you know her?
No, I do
Are you
not.
There's no way
serious?
you don't know her,
I
guy.
don't.
Are you
I
serious?
don't.
Are
I
you
don't reach that
serious?
part of the internet.
Okay. That's so
Yeah, I
interesting
don't know
because
who
she
she
went
is.
like anyway. She's supposed to be like she's this like love and light.
Mhm.
She's
Mm-hmm.
very sweet, very
Very
whatever,
smiley.
very smiley,
Okay.
vegan. So she has been married to her husband, and her husband is very handsome. She has been married to him for like 20 years. They're both like a very good looking couple. And she said she and her husband said something recently that there were times, because when you see them now, they're so like I mean, obviously you don't see them in real life, but based off of their interactions, the pictures you see on Instagram, they do look very much in love, right? Especially for people who have some grown children,
Yeah.
and they've been married for so long. And they said something recently that there was a time when like it wasn't love that kept them together. It
Yeah.
was that they were too broke to leave.
Fair.
That's what she said. It was like, okay, we don't want. She said they didn't like each other. In fact, sometimes they will walk by each other. You won't even know that they're in a relationship or they are married, right? But at that particular point in time, what kept them was just because they could not afford to leave.
Yeah.
And
Divorce
somehow,
is expensive.
as time went on, they started falling back in love with each other again. And
Yeah.
so a lot of married people will tell you that certain stages will come in a relationship, in a marriage, especially when you've been married for so long, where there is that bit of a I don't know if I would call it a gap or like an impasse or
I mean,
something where
I
like
get that actually,
yeah.
where you start to not like each other.
Yeah, it could, and it might not be that anybody did anything
Yeah, it's
wrong. It
just
might just be
natural.
that maybe the language that you guys used to understand each other has changed,
Changed.
and you now
Yeah.
need to learn that new language.
True
And
that.
when you are getting older and you've been in something for so long and you're used to see finish has entered, you don't
Yeah.
want to learn that new
True
language a
that.
lot of the
One sec.
time.
Are you good?
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
Okay, but then you need to learn that new language in order to deal with this person, right? And
True.
so like for me, I find that being able to, and I'm not saying being in terrible bad situations, because I don't believe that one should be in terrible harmful situations,
Of course. Of
but I
course.
do believe that commitment does say a lot about love as well, because when you have committed to something, whether it's for a short term or a long term, right, it means that like it's not every day you will feel like doing it. It's not every time you would want to do it. Sometimes you might want to see, you might not necessarily feel like driving, not because you don't love your partner, but maybe you just are tired that day, but you know that your partner needs you, and so you go because you love this person and
To
you're
be
committed to
to be
that
honest,
relationship.
this thing that you just said is why when I was younger, I actively avoided relationships. So you know how
It's
you were
work.
single for like 8 years?
Yeah.
I was not single by like condition, it was choice. One, I wanted to just fuck around because I felt that post secondary school, I think we used to talk a lot then when
Yeah.
I was just starting to live my life and I wanted to live my life, right?
It's a
So
fair statement.
yeah, so I literally was is why I'm still an advocate for whole face, right? Because I think if you let it out of your system, then you're good.
I'm not an advocate.
I'm
No,
Though.
not
that's you
really now.
people's
I don't think everybody can have.
see,
I'm not
that's
an
you
advocate
people's
either.
business.
Yes.
Is I mean I'm
I
a
feel like
strong
it comes with a
advocate
lot
for
of
it.
hurt.
It can cause a
I
lot
don't
of
actually
hurt.
think so. I don't think so.
It's because it didn't cause you a lot of hurt.
No, it didn't cause me. And no, another thing
Yeah.
with me was I was always very upfront
That's what
about
I'm
it.
saying. It didn't
Yes,
cause you a lot
so
of hurt.
it didn't
But
cause me a lot of
it
hurt.
causes a lot of people
I
a lot
don't
of
think I
hurt.
caused people a lot of hurt. So that was good because there was the understanding that this is what love entails. And I'm not ready for all this, right? This is what likeness at that time entails. This is what a good relationship entails. And I'm not ready for all this. So this is what I can give you. And this is why I can give you that. I'm currently trying to explore. So I don't need you to come and be messaging me every day. I can't show up for you this way, that way, this way. There are like 10 women that I would need to buy bags for. So don't expect a bag every day. I'm trying to go on holiday this weekend. So please don't expect me
When did you
to.
buy 10 women bags?
No, but like, first of all,
Your own whole game
there
on
was.
you.
No, I wasn't literally buying bags. But but my point was
This
just
whole
like
face, this seems very expensive.
no, it was. it was expensive, but it wasn't to the point that I'm trying to buy my own Birkins for everybody. It was just the understanding that to settle
But I
down
bet you
here.
if Isaac had that money.
If I did, I probably would have. But
Raining Birkins.
exactly. But the thing was just the understanding that if I want to be in a good relationship, it will cost a bag, for instance. I can't do that for 10 people. So therefore, I am not ready to do that for anybody.
Right, okay, I understand
right,
what
that
you're
kind of
saying.
vibe.
I understand what
And
you're saying.
as you get older, you start to love yourself a bit better. Then you start to communicate that, and luckily you end up not being toxic to people because you're upfront, like this is why, and blah blah blah. But I think we can leave it there.
Yeah, I just wanted to add one more thing. And
Okay.
of course, like the older we get, the more we learn, the more experience we have, our ideas and our growth of love is obviously going to continue to change.
True.
And I think that's why, like, I'm always of the opinion that, first of all, if you're committed to your own self changing, because you're going to change in ways that you do not even recognize. Not necessarily always bad, but even in some good ways.
Yeah, like how now I'm open to kids. I'm actively trying to be a good dad.
We already thought you were a single father of two.
No, I am no, that's what I'm saying now. Like, I'm trying to be a good dad
that's
now.
What you're saying. Oh, so before you've been a deadbeat.
No, before I wasn't a deadbeat. I was just not, like, I was a dad. Now I'm trying to be a father. Yeah, now I'm trying to be a father.
Okay,
no, a father.
Okay,
father
I understand.
Facts.
A father figure in society.
Facts.
So yeah, like if you are committed to your own self-changing and you are committed to your partner's and giving that grace, because I think that's also another thing. Sometimes people might not give grace. This person that you love so much, you're not giving grace for the fact that you have changed.
Yeah,
they too will change,
and they have to adapt.
They have to, because you are not growing if you are not changing. And all of us, we change every day. We're not the same people we were yesterday.
True.
And so, like, I think if you commit to like that understanding of giving a certain level of grace, again, not saying you should stick around in bad situations.
Facts.
I'm just saying that for
long-term
situations,
bad situations.
I'm just saying that sometimes it's not just because something is not working right now doesn't mean that it's dead. True. Or broken. You just might need to change the batteries.
Very true.
You know what I'm saying? So, like,
very true.
Yeah. So that's how I understand. I think that just understand that our ideas of love in our 30s. If we meet again 10 years from now, we would say so many different things about love. Because now other things will come into play.
Yeah,
kids, things like that.
Guy have been like 7 years in marriage. So
So yeah. So
by then I might have like 4 kids by then. No.
Look at that. 4.
Yeah. No, actually, I only want 2. You see, this is before we end this up. This is another thing that you now have to start factoring in as you get older. Because one day you wake up and you're like, I'm okay with 2 kids. And this person that you love so much is like, no.
Oh my God, one of my reality shows, the babe is pregnant now with her second one. And she's like, it looks like she's not happy about it.
No, it's true.
But then also she was like, she only wanted to have one, now she has 2. And then the husband is busy saying, okay, maybe the next one. She said next what?
No, the thing is, I can relate to that because as you get
I can relate to that though, because even me,
conversations like that come up and you're like, I like you, but I don't like you enough for 3 kids. So now we now have to
yeah, for me personally, like I feel like even though I know like, oh, I want to have this amount of kids, maybe 3. But you never know. You can go through that experience and be like, okay, I think I'm done. I don't think I want to do this again. And then what now happens if now your partner still wants more?
Yeah, I feel leave more.
What?
So I mean, for me, like if I'm going to conclude on this entire thing, I'll just say that people should, because it's fine to take your time sometimes.
Yes.
And not run into it. And that's why when she mentioned at the beginning that there was a babe who said, you know what, calm down on this gifts a little. I had a friend who did the same thing because she felt like when you bombard her with gifts, you're confusing her.
True.
She's not sure if it's you she likes or the gift.
Or the gifts. It's true.
And then right now, a big advocate for young people, teenagers, try and stay away from relationships. It's like,
listen, I know it's so crazy when they were telling us then.
We're like,
yeah, now, but
I mean, I know it won't happen, but I'm just saying that
you can't learn from people telling you. You just have
to can't. You just have to experience.
I feel like it gets too deep. Like you just keep going and going, and people, like I said, this whole face thing. Some people do it in their teenage ages, and you as a guy or a baby, you feel like you like that person. You actually like that person. But your feelings are deceiving you because this guy is something else.
Which is why when you finish your whole phase, you'll be able to know exactly what feelings are where.
It's only after whole phase that
it's during you start to better understand where you like, where you just what's this word they use. No, it's not, but it does help accelerate the lesson.
So I just
because
feel
lots of people will be in whole phase and still be in terrible situations afterwards.
Those are people that are not smart. Like you can't be in a whole phase.
It's not about
and
not
be,
being
no,
smart.
that's not being smart.
No, it's not about not being smart. It's just like you might be going into a whole phase like, okay, when I'm ready to settle, I'll settle. But a lot of time people are just in whole phase. It's not because they are like actively thinking about anything.
Mhm.
And then afterwards, like because you might not still really know who you are. That's the thing about it as well. Because that can also deceive you into thinking you know what it is that you who it is that you are and what it is that you want.
I mean, fair.
And then you now go and
That's
make
okay.
bad decisions again.
I mean, fair.
And
I
then we're a
get that.
function of habits.
We
You
are.
get into habits that you think. I can tell you examples of people who think they are drawing out of these habits, but they're still maybe they're not neck deep,
Cycles, I
but
hate
now they are
cycles.
waist deep
Cycles.
inside
I
of
get
it.
you.
So it's crazy. So and for people, like, because there's this set of people who are very emotional. Just calm down.
Like me.
Calm down. Think through it. And if you're too logical, develop your emotions. Like
True.
It needs a healthy balance.
I have this theory that life is like an egg. You keep trying to balance things out.
True.
Because but an egg will never balance.
True.
But just keep trying to balance it out. Yeah, Aristotle. Give me my TED talk.
That's true. It's never actually.
Everyone should just that's my own take from all these things.
I mean, that's fair. That's a good.
And I think I'll encourage you guys in the future.
Yeah.
Try and get more people to, because people
talk
need
about
to
their
hear,
love.
because people are not, there are people that are in these things and they're not conscious about it. So if they hear and it's playful like this, it will drop.
Our production team, you guys want to come and share your own love story? You guys don't want
come
to
and drop it.
You see, men.
No,
so thank you. Yeah, I think
it was actually good to see.
That was
very lovely.
Thanks for the conversation.
We've been virtual for years.
I know. I wish we could settle down and like talk about those times. No, we can't do that on record.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah, because
some things cannot be let out.
No, some things cannot be let out. You have no idea.
I don't even want to have idea.
You really don't want to have any
I don't even want to have idea.
But yeah, it was fun. It's just funny to see that now. You know, everybody, we were here debating love. Don't marry, don't born picking.
Old heads.
Guy, I'm telling you. Anyways,
right.
So like I was saying before, please subscribe.
Okay.
Leave a like everywhere you listen. You want to add something?
Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to read something really quick. So just something that I picked up, a verse that I picked up that I wanted to share that I think was really good. It's from Proverbs 27 verse 9 that says, oil and perfume make the heart glad, and the sweetness of a friend comes from his earnest counsel.
Okay.
And I've been studying about friendship and basically about like being real with your friends, being honest with them, like being real with them about a situation, giving the truth in love, right? And not just, allowing, you don't want to see your friend go down a bad path. And so you have to give them like, good counsel. It helps.
Some friends have
and that's what makes it friendship sweet, because they know that if you go to a friend that will be honest with you, you know that they will tell you the truth. And as a friend to you, are also a good friend if you know how to understand when your friend is telling you the truth and it's coming from that place of truth.
True.
So yeah.
Okay.
I totally agree with you, because even this whole love thing we're talking about, for a lot of people, the basis of how they love is based on the other relationships.
It's true. It's true.
It's true.
Right.
What? Who wrote it? Was it David?
I think that was a Solomon.
Oh, Solomon.
Maybe. Probably.
I mean, that's somebody you can listen to. He had so many wives. You see what I'm saying?
And he realized that it was not worth it.
I don't know.
No, he did, because that's why you see. That's why you see he writes Ecclesiastes, because he had all the money, he had all the women, and he realized that everything was all vanity.
Fair enough. I can actually take that. But I want to have all the women too. I'm just joking. Anyway, subscribe. Leave a rating, leave a review. Most importantly, subscribe on YouTube, please.
Meanwhile, Isaac's management did my makeup for me.
Wow.
Thank you, management.
Wow. She won't be management for much longer because of this.
What does that mean?
We're fighting. I'm just kidding. But yeah, shout out to her. Give us a song recommendation before we go.
I mean, as a person, my first identity is Christian. So I'll actually give 2 songs.
That's true. You've always been a strong Christian.
Yeah. So my first song is I'm the One You Love by
I Am the One You Love.
Can you give us exactly
Maverick
City Music?
I'm
not big on who sang the song. And then my second is Love Language by
Wait, is that the name of the song?
Yeah, Love Language by Conor Price and Evelyn Broku.
Okay.
I have a weird taste in music, by the way. So if you don't like it, sorry.
Oh no, it's fine. Our playlist is, Why?
Yeah, so those are my 2 song recommendations.
Okay. Dolly, what's yours?
That's the name of the song. Okay. Mine is sorry, please, do you remember what I gave last week, guys? Remind me.
Pills and Potions, Invisible, and yes,
Okay, so my
The
my
Man
my
Who
next
Takes
one
Notes.
is so Leave the Door Open, the live version,
Okay,
right, with Bruno Mars and the Pack and Silk Sonic.
okay,
Second one is No You Two, Part Two,
okay,
Simi featuring Ladipo,
okay.
and Back and Forth with Fireboy, DML, and Lagbaja
Jam.
Jam.
Okay. All right.
Mm.
So mine, Rihanna, Love on the Brain,
Mm.
because yeah, Rihanna is somebody that's also experienced love in different stages. Unfortunately for her, we've witnessed everything. So
Unfortunately for her.
yeah, because we've seen everything now, from Pon the Replay to Love on the Brain
now-
to where she is now. So yeah, the other one is Alicia Keys, Try Sleeping with a Broken
I
Heart.
love that
Jam.
song.
Yes,
Oh my
yes,
God.
Jam. And finally, this Soweto group that I've been listening to, they're called The Soil. Echoes. Very, very,
I
very
feel like
nice
I've heard
song.
those guys somewhere.
Yeah, that you probably have. They're really good at what they do.
Mm.
So yeah, Echoes by The Soil. And on that note, this has been episode 245.
Yes.
Thank you to our production crew.
Thank you to our production crew.
Thank you,
We're grateful
guys.
for you guys always.
Yeah, and it's been good seeing you a day as you go by these days.
Yes.
It's been
Still
lovely having
cringe.
you. Thank you so much, Johnny.
Let me shake your hand too.
But yeah, guys, Road to 30 everywhere.
Yes.
And we'll be seeing you when next we see you.
Ciao.
Millennial peace sign.